That is beautiful North Bondi Surf Club. This is beautiful Bondi Beach. It is a beautiful day. It's in the 20s. Apparently the next few days is going to be just torrential rain. So everyone's making the most of it. Look at Bondi. It's quite busy. It's a Wednesday. And I have to leave here. I've been for a brief one. I've got to go to Parramatta. But I want to go there early because I want to avoid the traffic. I really have about 4 hours to kill. So I thought, why not compare? And it's probably not a fair comparison because they're two different environments. But I used to live out in Penrith when I was studying at uni, and I've been out there for a while. I thought, I'll go to Penrith and I'll go to Penrith Beach, also known as Pondi, and compare the two. So let's go to Pondi from Bondi. It's about 60 k's. Okay, here we go. Guy next to me is pulled up in a very nice Jaguar. Pondi, here we come. You know, I used to live in Penrith, and I got a soft spot for Penrith. It was more Warrington actually, but I did a performing arts degree out there. So I was there for 3 years and no cash, so I just really stayed out there for 3 years. A lot of people would just drive home every day, but I forgot how far it was. And back then they didn't have the same road infrastructure, so it's probably even a longer trip. Even in the holidays when people would break up and just anyone who wasn't local would just move away, I would stay out there. So I'm actually going to work on a film today, a rehearsal at 6 p.m. The traffic's really bad generally in Sydney and out there out west, so I don't want to be any part of it. But I did have some good times out there and in my little uni DOS house. But I've just had a bit of a workout this morning, and then it's like did some body weight and then did some abs. And now we're going to go out to I think it's the M4. You know, I've actually forgotten how to get out there, but it's such a nice afternoon. It's so crisp. It's actually, I mean, I was in my board shorts and that's how I conventionally surf. A lot of people, everyone else was pretty much, apart from people between the flags, everyone else was in their wetsuit. I just don't see the need for it. It's not that cold. It's actually balmy today. I want to see what they've done. See if they've got a lifeguard on duty there, see if anyone's swimming there. It also says on Google Maps that Pondi is temporarily closed. I don't know if that means you can't go to the beach, or maybe it's unpatrolled, or whatever. Guess I'll find out. We're coming through leafy Woollahra now. It's a very nice suburb. And this takes you down from Bondi Junction down to Edgecliff. Listen, I grew up in Wagga, okay? And I went to school, one of the schools I went to was Lamia High. That's halfway between Aids and Macquarie Field. So I've lived in some places. And I've enjoyed some of the time and some of not. But the one reason, and I like all places, but the one thing, the deal breaker is not having the water nearby for me. I've discovered I just have to have the ocean. So the eastern suburbs is close to everything and close to the city, and it's close to the ocean, so it's just naturally a great deal. Big ass bus just there. I really have to, I so rarely come out this way these days that I have to remind myself how to get there. You know, the vibe kind of changed for a second then. It's turned into a little bit of a race course now because a lot of these people probably trying to get their kids. I mean, even for me, 2 o'clock in the afternoon seems late to head out this way. And I've got to remind myself, like, why the fuck am I doing this? Then I realize I'm working tonight. So I'm kind of like overshooting and then having to come back, which also feels unnatural. And then I think there'll be another peak hour of people, say, going from Penrith towards Parramatta maybe to go home. So there could be 2 peak hours. Okay, now we're on West Connects, and now this tunnel has doubled in size, and now we've got a 90 speed limit. This is why it said an hour. an hour from Bondi to Pondi. I am still in this tunnel. I forgot, it just goes for miles. In fact, in the Sydney Tunnel Network the last year, I think Google Maps, it tuned out, right? Because the satellite signal couldn't get through, or maybe I had to install the antennas, I don't know. And I missed the turn off, and I felt like I spent half an hour in these tunnels. But hey, I'm not complaining. Out of the tunnel, it's funny, it just slowed to 70 Ks then. And then there was an announcement on the radio saying there is congestion, in a really bad voiceover. Okay, Parramatta 7 Ks, 37 Ks to Penrith, but not a big deal because on this thing, doing 110 kilometers an hour, 15-20 minutes. Got serious congestion. I'm doing 25 kilometers an hour now. Hopefully it's school pickup and everyone's just flooding to all the schools, or they're coming from surrounding suburbs into Parramatta. There was so much traffic around Parramatta and out of Parramatta, and made worse by some moron had run out of fuel. I don't think it was a breakdown, or they're just an idiot, but they were sort of stuck in the middle lane in an 80k zone out of Parramatta, and I got stuck behind these morons, and then I had to get out of that lane, and thank God someone let me in because they knew there was big trouble. Otherwise you're just on a merge with trucks that are doing 80 clicks. Okay, here we go, Mulgoa Road. This is the last exit before you start ascending into the Blue Mountains. Anyway, we're here. I mean, that went really quickly because I left Bondi an hour ago. I've actually got my board in the car. It would be funny if I actually tried to surf at Penrith at Pondi Beach, because then my board would have done Bondi and Pondi in one day. Well, this is disappointing. How about? It's closed. It's like Wally World for beaches. It's closed. I can't believe it.